Welcome back to Thor, right here at Comicstorian, where we take some of your favorite comic book storylines, break them down into digestible bites to bring you a synopsis of the story that I read to you as an audio drama. Today we'll be covering Thor issues 7 and 8, and this takes place right after he has defeated Galactus and proven who is the strongest of them all, not to be confused with the Hulk. Some interesting things are about to be happening to the world of Thor involving his hammer and his position as king. But before we get into the video, let me remind you guys that we do have two Twitch channels, twitch.tv/Comicstorian, where you can find various podcasts every Tuesday and Thursday about comic books and superhero Dungeons & Dragons games. And you can also find me over at twitch.tv/Comicstorian Gaming occasionally whenever I get around to playing games there. Anyway, thank you guys for your support, and let's get into Thor 7 and 8. It was another day in Broxton, Oklahoma, as Adam Aziz works on another truck in his shop. Adam spent a long time in prison for aggravated assault and armed robbery, and fixing the locals' vehicles is his way to give back, even if he doesn't make that much. But today, there was a rumble as the hood of his truck slammed onto his head. After propping it back up, he looks back to see a bright bolt of lightning strike the ground. Adam sighs under his breath. Dang it. Not again. As the smoke clears, there's a rainbow light, and in the middle, Mjolnir sits. Adam drives out to the crash site of the hammer, and he sees something written on it. He takes out his phone and makes a call, telling the person, "My name is Adam, and you might want to come out here?" Up in Asgard, Sif asks what the hell is he doing? Why has he thrown Mjolnir into Broxton again? Thor's raven sits upon Sif's shoulder, and through it, Thor says that he is testing a theory. If she would just keep watch and inform him if there's any change. Sif tells him that he'll be the first to know. She'll give Hungen her eyes so that he may see all as well, and if she may add, good luck on the meeting. Across the city, Thor walks through a giant set of doors stating that he'll be fine, and as those doors close behind him, Beta Ray Bill stands at the fire. Thor takes off his helmet, thanking him for coming, and he asks if Beta Ray will sit. Bill stands in place, telling him, "Is that an order?" And after a brief pause, Thor tells him, "No, God's no. I'm trying to have a drink with a friend. Please, Bill." Bill thinks for a moment, telling him that a drink does sound necessary. So, what has been new? Anything interesting? Images of Thanos appear in Thor's mind, and before he can answer, Bill asks, "Are you well?" Thor clears his throat. "Yes, all is well. So I've heard that you've been having some adventures with the Guardians of the Galaxy. Something about the Inhumans before that?" Bill sits, telling him, "Yes, many grand adventures. But it was not why you called me here, was it? Or perhaps you're going to sit here and pretend that you didn't beat me into the ground and shatter my hammer the last time we met. I can appreciate that someone would need to sit with the king to drink wine, but I am not of Asgard. The king has seen to that. Thor, you are not my king. So if you have not brought me here for a reason, then the king can drink his wine alone." Thor picks up his chalice, and after finally debating it, he tells Bill, "We must speak about Thanos." Back down in Broxton, many news outlets gather around the crater left by Mjolnir awaiting the return of Thor, but instead they get another hero, Tony Stark. The crowd cheers at the sight of Iron Man, and he tells them, "No pictures. Which of you is Adam Aziz?" Adam lifts his hat, telling him, "That'd be me." And Tony tells him, "Good, walk with me, Adam." Adam follows him, telling him, "Yeah, I just found it like that. I was working in my shop and..." Tony stops him. Yeah, I don't care. The big concern here is how you managed to call me on my personal and very, very private number." Adam points down, telling him, "I didn't mean to intrude. It was just, Tony looks to the side of Mjolnir, and on it reads, "Call Tony Stark," and a phone number is listed. Tony yells, "That is so not cool, you son of a..." Up in Asgard, Thor watches through Huggin's eyes and laughs, stating, "That'll teach him to ride on Mjolnir, you armored jack." But Bill interrupts, stating, "Is there something going on, Thor?" Thor finishes his drink, telling him, "Aye, come." The two walk through the city as Bill explains that there is no chance of Thanos returning. He sought to that personally by hammering a black hole in his undead chest. Thor nods and Bill asks, "What is it? What are you not saying?" The two reach a set of doors and Thor tells him, "I had a vision. Something is coming. Something is wrong with me, with Asgard, with fate. I called you here because there may be a time, perhaps soon, that I may have to step away from the throne. I fear that I cannot trust myself as of late, and I will need to know that should I fall, if I am corrupted, that someone will be my second in command. Bill thinks for a moment. I will need a new hammer. As the doors to the armory open, Thor tells him, I thought you might say that. Choose any instrument or two or a dozen. Or we can have the dwarves make something to your liking. But among the wall of weapons, Bill looks down at the pedestal and asks, where's Mjolnir? Thor begins to look through Huggins' eyes, telling him, yes, that. As I said, Bill, something is wrong. Back down in Broxton, Tony tells the crowds, there's nothing to worry about. We're going to get Thor here and this whole thing will be taken care of. No one can pick that up, not even me. And as Tony finishes, Adam calls out, it's changing again, sir. Tony jumps up asking, what? Come on already! And on the side of Mjolnir, it reads, pick it up. Tony sighs, shooting a device, creating a barrier, telling everyone to just stay back. There is nothing to, hey, don't touch that! And then there's a blinding light as someone does touch the hammer. And as it fades, a Thor-powered Adam Aziz looks at himself holding Mjolnir, stating, what the hell? Soon the barrier falls and many of the news outlets rush down to take pictures of this new Thor. And Tony shouts for everyone to get back. As the pushing and shoving continues, Adam asks, can't you just put up another force field? And Tony tells him that he would if someone didn't just fry it with a crazy space hammer. Now we have to do this. An electromagnetic wave shoots out, zapping all of the electronic devices, and everyone begins to ask what is going on. Adam asks what was that, and Tony says that it was a short-wave burst of EMP, followed by a redirect to one of the Stark satellites. All of their live feeds just switched to reruns of an old Captain America by the War Bonds cartoon, which, if they haven't seen them, they're just so bad. So that means that their rating will continue to plummet unless they all clear out. As everyone begins to back away, Tony looks at Adam, telling him that he's going to need the hammer now. Adam says sure, but as he reaches out, there's another explosion of light, and as Tony is thrown to the ground, he says that a call would have been nice. Maybe a raven? But yeah, this is cool, super cool. Thor steps out of the light, telling Adam, you have my sincerest apologies. You have earned a favor from a god this day. And Adam says, wow, the real Thor! This is an honor, sir. Thor tells him, the honor is all mine, now, if I may. Adam holds out Mjolnir, but before Thor could grab it, Tony rockets in grabbing it, yelling, no! Hell no! You are not getting this back! Not until we have a little chat, Thor! This has nothing to do with you, Tony. Now give me back my hammer, and Tony says, really? Do you not remember the part where you released my private number? You literally had people calling me yourself. Thor tells him, I needed someone that I could trust. Plus, it was someone else who wrote on my hammer first. Tony yells at him asking, what is this? Can anyone pick up Mjolnir now? Is that why it was thrown here, to test if the hammer is broken? What if someone had gotten hurt? What if, God forbid, Dr. Doom had come by, Thor? Until we run some tests, this hammer is staying here. Thor pauses. I do not answer to you. Tony stares. And as the Iron Man helmet closes, he tells him, fine. With the thrusters in his arm, Tony swings the hammer, cracking Thor up the side of his head with a thundering crack-a-ka-doom. Thor stands still, with sadness spreading over his face and the clouds beginning to darken, and he tells Tony, you will listen very carefully. Do not mistake that wielding Mjolnir also means wielding my power. Mjolnir or not, I am still a god. And you are a tiny tin man in a lightning storm. As the fire from the lightning outlines the two of them in the shape of a hammer, Thor holds out the hammer and tells him, for an argument, that's pretty compelling, Thor. Thor takes back Mjolnir and tells him, for the vast majority that I have known you, you have been a noble ally and a friend. Thank you for not making me test that again. As for the hit, I understand. Just had to get one in. Tony tells him, yeah, plus, being an engineer and all, when all you have is a hammer. I'm not sure what's going on up there, but the All-Father should take a break. Get some rest. Even if it's for a day, Thor. There is no rest for kings, but there is a favor to ask. More of an oath, really. If word were to spread that any man or beast could wield Mjolnir, no problem. It's in the vault. And for what it's worth, Thor, I now have the footage of hitting the God of Thunder with his own hammer. Top that, buddy! As Tony flies off, Adam says that he's not really one to ask for favors, but there is one thing. So a short while later, Adam sighs as he holds onto Mjolnir's strap, flying through the skies, and Thor tells him, all right, now slow your spin, and you will gradually Adam hovers down and soon flips around, landing flat on his back. And he laughs. That was a close one. And thank you for all of this. I used to pray back in prison. I'd look up at that little window with all the birds in the sky and pray that I could be just like them. Thor smiles, telling him that there's no need for thanks. It is, in fact, what prayers are for. Adam looks at his new muscles, asking, So, about this, does all of this go away? This really isn't my thing. Thor tells him that all he needs to do is strike Mjolnir on the ground with all his might. So Adam kneels, asking, Really? And he slams the hammer down, reverting back to his original self, stating, That'll do it, huh? Adam hands back the hammer and he walks off, and then he stops. You know, I might not be an Avenger or anything, but I'm a pretty good mechanic. Sometimes you just need to turn something off and then back on again. It'll fix most problems. If not, well, you can always hit it with a hammer. Best of luck to you. Don't be a stranger, Thor. As Adam leaves, Thor takes a moment to look at the surrounding houses. This location was not just random. This one was picked. Thor walks into an old home, thinking back to what Tony said about taking a break. And Adam said that he might need to turn it off and on again. Thor picks up a picture frame of a photo with Donald Blake and smiles. A stranger. That concludes issue 8 of Thor. Now, the broken Mjolnir thing seems to be the new overarching thing that is going to be happening. So if you want to know what's happening, stick around here at Comicstorian. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and we'll be keeping you up to date. Currently, issues 9 and 10 have both come out, which are following what's going on with Donald Blake. I highly recommend checking them out because, oh my God, does Donny Cates know how to write a crazy story? Or I guess, oh my Thor, Donny Cates knows how to write a story. Either way, it's amazing. It's awesome what he's doing with this character, and I really do love it. Also, if you're curious, we're going to be getting back and wrapping up the Iron Man storyline. We were waiting for Iron Man 2020 to end, and that arc was left hanging in the middle of COVID. So now that they've wrapped up the arc, we're going to be bringing you the conclusion to the Iron Man storyline, where you can discover if Tony Stark is really Tony or if he's still that AI thing. Either way, don't forget we also have Patreon, where you can become one of our super awesome supporters and get early access to a bunch of our videos and unedited versions of our podcast. Either way, guys, thank you so much for your support. YouTube memberships, Patreons, Twitch subs, all of you guys are incredible, and without you, we wouldn't be able to do this. And if you're just one of our viewers who happen to stumble across this video, thank you for giving us this small portion of your day to show you what's going on in the Thor storyline. Either way, guys, thank you so much, and I'll see you next time right here.